the girl who stood at the door. Rain hammered against the calf windows like 1,000 impatient fingers, blurring the world beyond into streaks of gray. Inside, warm light spilled across wooden tables, the smell of fresh pastries drifting with soft jazz playing from hidden speakers. It was the kind of morning people sought comfort, except for one man who seemed to carry enough comfort on his own. Daniel Brooks, a single father of 2, sat with his children near the window. His daughter, Lily, giggled as she dipped her croissant in hot chocolate, and his older son, Noah, bounced his small sneaker against the chair leg while tapping on a coloring book. Daniel watched them with that quiet, tired smile only single parents knew, the one that said, "I'm exhausted, but they're my whole world." He was supposed to be at work, but Noah had woken with a fever earlier, and Daniel had made a decision instantly. Work could wait. His kids couldn't. He was just handing Lily a napkin when the calf door opened slowly, cautiously, as if someone was afraid to come inside. Every head turned. A girl, no, a young woman, stepped in. She wore a simple blue shirt and denim shorts. Her hair was tied back messily, rainwater clinging to loose strands. She looked about 22 minus 23, her eyes tired, frightened, and wandering the calf as if searching for a safe place. But what caught every customer's attention wasn't her expression. It was her leg, or rather the absence of one. Her left leg ended above the knee, replaced by a sleek black prosthetic. She leaned heavily on her crutches, gripping them with trembling hands. Her shoulders were stiff with embarrassment, as if she had walked into a ballroom wearing rags. A few people looked away awkwardly. Others stared without shame. Daniel's children stared too, but not out of cruelty. Children stared because they saw everything, questioned everything, and judged nothing. The girl hesitated near the entrance. Rain dripped off her jacket onto the floor, forming a small puddle around the tip of her prosthetic. Daniel noticed the way she bit her lip, the small, fragile way people do when they're trying not to cry in public. He nudged Noah gently, whispering, "Don't stare, buddy." "I'm not staring," Noah whispered back. "I'm just wondering if she's okay." Daniel didn't answer, because he was wondering the same thing. The girl tried to move toward an empty table, but the calf was crowded. Almost every table was taken except for theirs, with one empty seat. She glanced at it, then quickly looked away, shaking her head. She didn't want to bother anyone. She didn't want pity. But then her crutch slipped slightly on the wet floor. She froze, panicking. Several people gasped softly. Daniel shot up halfway from his chair, ready to help, but she steadied herself before he could reach her, drawing a shaky breath. That's when their eyes met for the first time. Daniel's were calm, warm, steady. Hers were full of fear. And then, barely louder than the rain outside, she asked, "Can I sit here?" Her voice cracked on the last word. Daniel blinked, surprised she had approached him and his kids. But the shock lasted only a moment. He gestured instantly, kindly, protectively. "Of course," he said. "Please sit." But she didn't move right away, as if she was waiting for someone to say no, as if she expected rejection. The hesitation broke Daniel's heart in a way he didn't understand. He stood gently, moved the chair back for her even though she didn't need someone doing everything for her. She lowered herself carefully, her crutches clinking softly as she leaned them against the table. Noah whispered, "Dad, is her leg?" "Honey," Daniel whispered back quickly, "we talk kindly, okay?" The girl's shoulders tensed. She'd heard, but instead of getting annoyed, she turned to Noah and offered a small smile. "It's okay. You can ask." Noah looked at her with innocent curiosity. "Does it hurt?" "Sometimes," she admitted. "But today it's just heavy." She tapped her prosthetic lightly, like carrying a metal backpack on one leg. Lily giggled. "That sounds funny." The girl actually laughed, a soft, fragile sound, like someone experiencing joy for the first time in months. Daniel noticed, and something inside him warmed. He hadn't heard a laugh like that in a long time. They introduced themselves. Her name was Emily. She explained she had been in an accident 2 years ago, but she didn't say more. Daniel sensed she didn't want to talk about it, so he didn't push. Lily offered her half-eaten cookie. You can have mine. I don't like raisins. Emily smiled gently. Thank you, sweetheart. Daniel couldn't stop watching her, not out of pity but because she carried something inside her, something he recognized. Loneliness. She was trying so hard to appear strong, trying so hard not to be a burden. He'd felt that way too, raising two kids alone. Two strangers, broken in different ways, sitting at the same table by accident or fate. But just as Emily began to relax, a shadow crossed her face. Someone had entered the cafe. Someone she clearly did not want to see. Her entire body froze. Her hand clenched the edge of the table. Daniel noticed instantly. Emily, are you okay? Her lips trembled. No, he found me. Daniel's eyes narrowed. Who? But before she could answer, a tall man stepped forward, and Emily's voice shook as she whispered, My ex, the one who tried to kill me. The answer that changed everything. Daniel wasn't the kind of man who got scared easily, but when he saw Emily's face pale, terrified, trembling, every protective instinct in his body roared awake. The tall man approaching was broad-shouldered, sharp-eyed, and wearing a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. Emily stiffened. Please don't let him take me. Daniel shifted slightly, placing himself between the man and his children without making it obvious. His voice was low and calm. You're safe here. But Emily shook her head. No, I'm not. He always finds me. The man stopped only a few feet away, staring at Emily with mocking amusement. Well, look who's hiding in a cafe like a scared little rabbit. Daniel clenched his jaw. Emily tried to shrink into her chair. Leave, she whispered. Please. But the man ignored her and turned his gaze to Daniel instead. And who the hell are you? Her new babysitter? Daniel didn't rise to the insult. He stood up slowly, deliberately, keeping his voice steady. I'm the person asking you to walk away. The man laughed, a cruel, dry sound. You think she didn't tell me everything? She's useless, broken. I did her a favor staying as long as I did. Emily's eyes watered. Daniel's face darkened. Don't talk to her like that. Or what? The man sneered. Daniel didn't answer with words. He simply stared. A quiet, unwavering stare from a father who had rebuilt his life from pieces. A man who had held crying children at a man who had survived heartbreak, exhaustion, and loneliness. That kind of man didn't back down. Ever. The ex scoffed. Relax, hero. I'm just here to take her home. Emily's breath hitched. Home? You mean the place where you... Emily, he snapped. Don't make a scene. Daniel stepped forward. She's not going anywhere she doesn't want to. For the first time, the ex's confidence faltered. Daniel was taller, stronger, and clearly not frightened. Look, man, the ex said, raising his hands. This is between us. Stay out of it. But Daniel shook his head once. She asked to sit at my table. That makes it my business. Emily's eyes filled instantly. The girl who had walked into the cafe shaking. The girl who expected rejection from everyone. The girl who had stood alone for too long. Someone finally stood with her. The ex glared at her. You think this guy cares? He doesn't know you. No one cares. Daniel's voice softened. I care. Emily covered her mouth, tears falling freely now. The ex looked around. The cafe was watching. People were whispering. Phones out. Cameras recording. He cursed under his breath and backed away. This isn't over, he growled. But it was, because Daniel stepped forward one more time. It is, if you go near her again. I'll make sure it is. The ex glared, then stormed out. The cafe slowly returned to normal, but Emily didn't move. She sat frozen, gripping her crutches with white knuckles. Daniel sat back down slowly. You're safe. He's gone. Emily blinked rapidly, tears falling onto her lap. Why? Why did you help me? You don't even know me. Daniel gave a small smile. Sometimes you don't have to know someone to know they deserve kindness. Noah leaned over. My dad helps people. He helped me when I fell off my bike. He helps everybody. Emily laughed through her tears. Daniel reached out gently, carefully, and placed a napkin in her hand. You asked if you could sit here, he said softly. The answer is yes. Always yes. For the first time that morning, Emily smiled. A real smile, one she didn't have to force. She looked down at her prosthetic leg, the thing she believed made her unworthy, and whispered, "Thank you for seeing me, not just what I'm missing." Daniel shook his head. "You're not missing anything. You're stronger than anyone in this room." Her cheeks flushed pink. Lily climbed into her lap without asking permission. "You can sit with us every day." Emily hugged her tightly. "Maybe I will," she whispered. Outside, the rain finally stopped. Light broke through the clouds. A new beginning, maybe for both of them. And as the calf returned to its warm, gentle hum, Emily realized something she hadn't felt in a long time: hope. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful emotional stories. Your support means everything.